Alright guys, we have reached the quarterfinals of the 2025 ATP Madrid Open. Very interesting tournament so far. Djokovic was knocked out in his first match, but that is no surprise because he has done that several times this year already and is towards the end of his career. The top seed Alexander Zverev lost in the fourth round against Francisco Cerundolo, who is obviously now in the quarterfinals. The second seed Carlos Alcaraz withdrew before the tournament began due to the injury that he sustained in the Barcelona final against Holger Rune. The third seed Taylor Fritz lost in the fourth round against Casper Ruud, but that is not really a surprise because clay is not Fritz's best surface and it is Ruud's best surface. So the highest remaining player we have left in the draw is the fifth seed, the world number 6, Jack Draper. But anyway, let's get into the quarterfinals and let's begin with the 14th seed Casper Ruud, who, like I just said, just defeated Taylor Fritz in straight sets. And he will be taking on the 9th seed Daniil Medvedev, the clay specialist, of course. The head-to-head between these two players is actually 3-love to Medvedev. They have faced each other twice on hard courts and once on grass, and Medvedev has actually not lost a single set against Casper Ruud. But they have not faced each other in about 3.5 years. The last time they played was the 2021 ATP Finals. So it has been a while since then. And they have also never played on clay, which is Ruud's best surface, of course, and Medvedev's worst surface. So Medvedev has failed me this year before, and the last time he went this deep in an event, I believe, was Indian Wells, when he reached the semifinals, and I actually predicted that he would win his quarterfinal match against ATP, which he did, barely, in a third set tiebreaker. Now Medvedev is still washed. Do not be fooled by the fact that he has reached the quarterfinals here in Madrid. Who did he defeat? He had a walkover in his first round against Laszlo Djere, who may have been favored to defeat him, given that Djere is a better clay court player than Medvedev. But Medvedev didn't have to play that match because Djere withdrew. Then he played Cerundolo, but not Francisco Cerundolo. He played his little bro, Juan Manuel Cerundolo, who has not done anything of note for about 3.5 years when he won that title in Buenos Aires, I believe, on his debut. He won his first 5 or 6 matches on the ATP Tour, and then he disappeared into the shadow realm and has not been heard from again since then. So even though that guy is supposed to be a clay specialist, Medvedev defeated him, but do not be fooled, because like I just said, the guy has not done anything, so this does not amaze me too much that Medvedev was able to defeat him. And then he just defeated Nakashima in a very close match, 6-4 in the third set, but Nakashima is an American, so he does not know how to play on clay, so do not be fooled by that. So Medvedev is in the quarterfinals, but he is still washed, and he has not suddenly become good on clay because he defeated Cerundolo and Nakashima. So do I think that he will now go on and defeat an actual solid clay specialist in Casper Ruud? No, I don't think so. I think that Casper Ruud will win this match in straight sets. Now the next quarterfinal we have is the 20th seed Francisco Cerundolo, who has been pretty consistent this year. He made both quarterfinals at Indian Wells and Miami, and in Monte Carlo he had to play Alcaraz in Alcaraz's first match, and he lost that in 3 sets. And now he will play the 22nd seed Jakub Mensik, who of course has won Miami this year, defeating Novak Djokovic in the final. Mensik, who appears to be a hard court specialist, but it is not a massive surprise that he has made his way to the quarterfinals here in Madrid, because we know that Madrid clay is quite unlike most of the other clay court tournaments. It's faster due to the high altitude, and big servers can actually do well on this surface due to that. So even though it is clay, it maybe is the fastest clay that we have on the tour. So the head-to-head between Mensik and Cerundolo is 1-love to Cerundolo. They faced once in Beijing last year, which was on hard courts, and Cerundolo won in straight sets. I think that Cerundolo will win this match in 3 sets because he is the more experienced clay court player. Even though people are hyping Mensik because he is still a teenager and he just won a Masters, I still think Cerundolo is more experienced on the surface, so I will have him winning this in 3 sets. Then we have the highest remaining player left in the draw, the 5th seed Jack Draper, taking on Matteo Arnaldi, who of course defeated Novak Djokovic in the second round. And that is not a super impressive feat anymore because Djokovic is just losing to everyone these days. But anyway, Arnaldi has been playing rather well this tournament. He has won 8 sets in a row after losing the first set of his opening match against Borna Coric. He won the next 2 sets in that match, of course, and then won his next 3 matches in straight sets. So he defeated Djokovic, Zumhur, and Tiafoe just now, all in straight sets. So he has been playing really well this tournament. His head-to-head with Jack Draper, they have never faced each other before. Draper is, of course, playing well himself. He just destroyed Tommy Paul 6-2, 6-2. Paul is not actually the best on clay, but I do not think he is actually that terrible on clay. But that was a very good performance from Draper. Dare I say it, Draper at his best, actually, it looked like in that performance. So both of these players have actually been playing pretty well. And Draper is the highest ranked player left in the draw, as I said, but I'm going to make a bit of a bold prediction here. Despite that, I'll have Arnaldi winning this in 3 sets. I think this can be a 50-50 match, but I will slightly favor Arnaldi. And then we have, for the last quarterfinal, we have the 10th seed, the new top 10 player, Lorenzo Musetti, who I don't think he has dropped a set this tournament, actually. Yes, he has played 3 matches and won all of them in straight sets. He defeated Etcheverry in the first round, a solid clay court player, even though Etcheverry has not been good this year. And then he defeated Tsitsipas in his second match. Tsitsipas, who is at his lowest ranking in a while, at world number 18 or something like that. So he appears to be washed, but I will not actually call him washed yet, because he did just win that title in Dubai. That was not that long ago. So he can still win some titles, I believe. But he will never win a slam, like some people were saying after he won in Dubai. Oh, Tsitsipas is ready to win the French Open now. But look, he has just lost to Lorenzo Musetti in both of the clay court masters so far. So, do I think that he will win the French Open? Absolutely not. I would be shocked if that happened. I would be shocked. I will say that. If he wins any Grand Slam, I will be surprised. But if he wins the French Open this year, I will be shocked. I will really be shocked. But that will never happen. So anyway, Lorenzo Musetti, who I believe was love 5 against Tsitsipas or something like that before their match in Monte Carlo, hence I predicted him to lose that match, but he was able to defeat Tsitsipas in a close 3-setter. And now he has just defeated Tsitsipas again for the second tournament in a row, or the second clay court Masters tournament in a row. So he's really looks like he's turning around this head-to-head. That match was straight sets again. And then he just defeated Deminor, the world number 7, in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2. So Musetti has been playing pretty well this tournament. He has not lost a single set, which is actually not that common for him. He usually tends to get into these long matches, like in Monte Carlo when he reached the final against Alcaraz. All but one of his matches were in 3 sets. So he has been able to get things done quicker in this tournament somehow. And he will face the surprise quarterfinalist, the lucky loser, Gabriel Diallo from Canada, a player whom I actually have seen play in person at the US Open qualifying 2 years ago. I was watching his match right there, right next to the court against Kimmer Koppehans, this Belgian guy, and I think Koppehans won in third set tiebreak. So yeah, I was watching that match in person actually, and Diallo did not qualify for the US Open because of losing that match, but he has somehow found his way to the quarterfinals in Madrid. This has to be his biggest result anywhere. I'm pretty sure I've never seen him have a better result than this. He defeated Zizou Bergs in his first match as a lucky loser. He was actually going to he would have been playing Alcaraz if Alcaraz did not withdraw, but instead he played a lucky loser. So it was a lucky loser battle in that second round against Kamil Majchak, or however you say his name, the Polish guy. Diallo won that one, 6-4 in the third. Then he played Cameron Norrie, who likes to beat 2000s kids, which Diallo is. Lost the first set 6-2, but then came back to win that match, 6-4 in the third again. And then he just played the 15th seed Grigor Dimitrov. Lost the first set 7-5. In that second set, he had 2 or 3 match points against him. Dimitrov low-key choked. He should have done a better job at least getting the ball into play on those 2 or 3 match points that he had. But Diallo was able to win that tiebreak at 9-7. And then he won 6-4 in the third again. So he has won 6-4 in the third in his last 3 matches. So he has played 3 really close matches in his past 3 matches. And he has somehow found his way to the quarterfinals, where he will take on Lorenzo Musetti, who by contrast, like I just said, has not lost a single set in this event. They faced each other 2 times before, and the head-to-head is 1-1. But both of these times were on hard courts. They have never played on clay. Musetti will win this match in straight sets. He is just a better clay court player, let's be honest. Even though Madrid, like I said, is fast clay and big servers, like Diallo is, he is 6'8", can be favored. Diallo hits very heavy ground strokes, just a big game. He's 6'8", so what do you expect? Musetti is just a more experienced clay court player, so I believe that he will win this in straight sets. And I believe that we will have semifinals between... I believe that the semifinals for this event will be Cerundolo versus Ruud and Arnaldi versus Musetti, the all-Italian final in the bottom half.